Hi everybody! So I chose Shel Silverstein for my author-illustrator project. Some little known facts. He was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1930. He died in 1999, unfortunately. He was not only an author, illustrator, and poet, but he also was a songwriter and a musician and playwright. And he wrote songs for many famous singers, including Johnny Cash as one. He also taught himself to draw by, he would trace comic strips in the newspapers. His favorite was Little Abner, and that was written by Al Capp. In addition to Al Capp, he was majorly influenced by Stanley, Max Gaines, and Virgil Parch, which a lot of those were some up-and-coming Jewish writers of the time who they wrote comic books, which was kind of a new type of writing, so they could, he found a lot of his works and drawings, he got influence from those. So his first book was actually published after he was drafted in the military in Japan, I think in 1953, and while he was there, he wrote comic strips for the newspapers, and they ended up putting all of those together and publishing his first book. So in addition to those books, he has had so many books. He's written, he kind of found his calling in children's literature. Some of his most famous are Where the Sidewalk Ends, A Light in the Attic, The Giving Tree, Who Wants a Cheap Rhinoceros, those type of books. So some awards that he've won for A Light in the Attic. It was the first children's book to make it to the New York bestsellers list, and it actually was on that list for 182 weeks straight, which is kind of a big deal. He also won a Grammy for the best children's album for Where the Sidewalk Ends. And in addition to all of these, his books have been published over the years. There's been numerous books that have other writers have collaborated and published since he's died. And, his books have been published in over 47 languages around the world. So I created a handout which I'll include, and then for my lesson and my book I'm going to share with you guys is called The Giving Tree, which I'm sure you've maybe heard of it. So The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I'm too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree. "I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I'm too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I'm too tired to climb," said the boy. "I'm sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. So this book, I picked this book, and also for an activity that's kind of cool, I actually found it on a website with Shel Silverstein. It's also listed in my references if you guys want to look it up. But it's a project called You Create a Poet Tree. And the poet is Shel Silverstein, and the teacher creates a trunk and hangs it on the bulletin board. And then I would have all the students find their favorite poem, either from Shel or different authors, wherever they can be creative and do their own research. And then they write their poem on a big leaf that they've created out of construction paper. Then after they present the poem to the class, they get to hang it on to the poet tree for everyone to read. So that was my assignment included, and I hope that you guys learned some interesting facts, and hopefully my handouts and activities are useful. Thank you.